you some projects we're working on and looking at some new initiatives. So, currently we have 68 programmes running in Wales. 15% of those trainees are less than full-time. So obviously one of our focal points is looking at attracting trainees to Wales and obviously retaining them as well. So in 2016, we did survey the candidates to look at what was their primary reason for being in Wales, and also what are the main factors when choosing a location that they train in. So as you can see, overwhelmingly it's because 76% live and work here, and only 24% is because that's the post they got offered. And again, if we look at the importance there, it's pretty much 50-50 with the quality of training and the fact their family and friends where they are or where their location is. So we'll talk about that a bit later, but we will look at maybe initiatives that we as Wales are looking at to try and support families so they can perhaps train in the same area. So this is just a current distribution of trainees in Wales across all the health boards. And if we look here, this gives us an idea of trainees that we're retaining between medical school and F1. So it's around 55% across the 3 years on average. Now following this, the DINA has actually been increasingly asked to provide information of where trainees go following CCTs and at different stages of their training. So in response to this, we're actually undertaking a project at the moment, a careers destination project, which is looking at where they go at different stages. So at the moment, the current bit of information we're collecting is looking at where trainees go after their F2, and that's being collected right now. In the future, we'll be looking at where trainees go after their CCT, where our ST1s and CT1s actually come from, and where our ST3s and 4s come from. So that data is being collected at the moment. I'm sure it's already talked about today, but obviously following their Train, Work, Live campaign, the Wales Union wanted to capitalise on the kind of raised profile of Wales, and we've done that by undertaking a marketing campaign with Golly Slater. Now that's going to target potential trainees from medical schools and foundation programmes, and that will be targeted through Twitter and Facebook campaigns. We're also looking at a number of flexible initiatives which would have started this year. I'm just going to pass you over to Katie, who will tell you a bit more.
Yeah. So, in trying to attract trainees to Wales, we've been looking at offering flexibility around training provision to try and support people with this and go into kind of work-life balance. So, there are, for example, GP have been able to introduce more flexibility around deferment of starting for posts. That's somewhere that we're not quite at the moment in terms of specialty training. But there are a number of initiatives that we have got involved in that are also being run in different areas of the UK as well. So the first is around facilitated placements. So this is specifically focusing on applicants who have family or friends in specific areas but have been allocated a training post in a different location. So it's just starting to look at the opportunities for them to maybe see if there's anything we can do to support those. So this is open to all applicants except for people who have applied for either local recruitment or academic posts. And with across the UK, so this is applied for England, Wales and Scotland. It's a new initiative this year. It's not currently being used in Northern Ireland at the moment, so people aren't able to kind of transfer in and out of posts in Northern Ireland. There's these three kind of priority areas. So people who are caring, who are in a particular relationship with, that's kind of with a partner as opposed to other family members, or if they've got responsibility for children in a different area. And then just the third priority area is everybody else, basically. So this is an opportunity, once people have been allocated their posts, so they have to actually be holding an allocated offer, they have the opportunity to apply within each recruitment round to be considered for these facilitated placements. So these are the application windows, so it's after the initial upgrade deadline has passed, people are able to put in for these facilitated placements. It's an application through with supporting criteria with that, and then those applications will go through to a panel to be considered nationally. So those are the recruitment windows for this year. So as I said, that's a new initiative for this year. The other new initiative in terms of flexibility that has come in this year, again applying to England, Wales and Scotland, is for special circumstances. So these, again, there's two criteria applying for this, which is for people who have, for example, family care for someone who's disabled, or if they themselves have a specific medical condition that they need to remain in a particular place to receive treatment for that. So this is a slightly different process. People make a note on their application as they apply to say that they have this particular criteria. They need to apply in the same process as everybody else, and we'll go through normal application with, procedures, so that there's no preferential treatment that way. But if they are successful and allocated a job, they are considered first in the placement of offers before they kind of run and the offers go out to everybody else. So that's the kind of flexible initiatives that have come in this year. Just another update that we thought might be of interest is around some changes to curriculum that are coming in. So first of all is proposed training changes to the core medical training curriculum. So this year will be the last year that people are appointed to the 2-year core medical training programme. As of next year, it will be changing into this new scheme, which will be including 3 years of basic internal medicine. So anyone who applies for recruitment next year will be going through this programme. And then we'll offer, having done that, more competitive entry into ST4 for the specialist medical posts. So that's actually been agreed, and the curriculum is just being updated at the moment, and that's being finalised, but that will be in place for next year. The other thing just to flag up, this is very much at a discussion stage at the moment, but core surgical training, again, they're looking at potentially piloting some changes to that scheme, but that's very much at the discussion stage at the moment. So now just focusing more specifically on the situation with recruitment for this year. As in previous years, with a number of different recruitment rounds we're going through, so we have just come to the end of the first round for CT1, ST1, so they were interviews taking place in January. We then had the re-adverts for those. We are just about to be interviewing for the ST3 recruitment, and then later in the autumn, dates to be confirmed. We've kind of got the non-August, December start dates. This year, again, we have been using the Oriel application system. It may get mentioned with other people. This year they've tried to bring more of the specialties and different users into this, and has had varying levels of success, I think, in terms of capacity. So some, you may have had various trainees who have had issues, particularly last Thursday, where it was the whole deadline for specialty recruitment, and it was the foundation offers went out on the same day and the entire system collapsed. So yeah, so that has made some of the timescales that we've got on here at the moment. There's been slight changes to the deadlines just to kind of account for people who are coming through with that. So on that, I will hand over to Zoe, who will just give a bit more information on where we are with Band 1 at the moment.
Okay. So as you can see, as Katie alluded to, we did have to push back the whole deadline as the foundation Oriel system crashed. So it actually closed on the 17th of March, the 10th of March, sorry, at 4 o'clock. So we've only just passed the whole deadline. Obviously, we're still waiting for the upgrade deadline and the hierarchical deadline. We should have, from those that were nationally recruited, all of the information and the stats and everything back regarding our new trainees by the 29th of March. So obviously, at the moment, we can't give you really good figures on our fill rates. But what we can do, this is the round 1 re-advert as well. So as you can see, the applications are currently still open, and we'll be looking to interview most of April. So this is just the posts that have gone out to advert across, and whether we are recruited nationally or locally. Right, okay, so what I can give you then in terms of fill rates is from 2011 to 2016, we can kind of see where the peaks and troughs are. Obviously anything flagged in red is where we've dipped. What I can tell you from this year so far, it looks like CMT and core surgical training are probably going to be about the same as last year. fill rate wise. Probably see that from 2015 to 2016 we have had a 10% dip on psychiatry. Now at the moment that looks as if it's going to dip again, and that's a trend nationally at the moment. It does look quite low. One thing that is noted on here is broad-based training, which we put into round 2 last year, and we recruited to one post. This year we went into round 1. But we did recruit to 60% of the South West posts, but we didn't actually manage to recruit to any of the North West posts. Now this is a pilot programme, so obviously will be subject to review by the Welsh Government. So also we've got ACCS and anaesthetics are looking very good at the moment. So most of those, as far as we can tell, are looking quite on track this year. So I'll pass it to you for round 2.
And just the last bit then, so we are also now just in the process of recruitment for the ST3 posts. So again, there's just the deadlines for those, so it's going to be early summer really by the time we've got a good idea on how things are looking with those. And so this is just a listing of the posts that we've advertised. For this in particular, just a couple of things to flag up. The ICM, we've been able to increase the number of posts that we're recruiting to for that this year. So we're seeing just how the take-up's going, but the interviews will be taking place. We've got some on Thursday, then we have the bulk of our interviews will be next week. We're holding in the Hilton in Cardiff, so that's 21st, 22nd and 23rd of March. And then the final interviews that we're holding locally as well then will just be at the end of the month. And that was it.